As we head into yet another week with our new normal, living with COVID-19, chances are your mindset is a little different. Maybe you're beginning to feel some pressures of what's going to come, what you've dealt with so far. Perhaps you're beginning to notice your family in a different way and seeing some things that you like, maybe some things that you don't like so much. So we're going to have some help this morning, psychologically and positively, if that's the word I'm looking for. Dr. Tim deRoos joins us from his home. He, of course, has Infinite Health Centers up in Cleveland. Great to see you this morning, Tim.
Good morning, Julie.
I'm fine, thank you. You're a positive guy anyway. That's part of what your practice is all about, is teaching people how to conquer whatever their challenges are with a positive mindset. We need that, I guess, now more than ever.
We sure do. You know, we try to be that way every single day. Of course, no one's perfect, right? And we all have our challenges that we face. But let's face it, during this time, there's a lot of hysteria, a lot of anxiety at play that can really work on people. So the best defense right now is a great offense. And I just suggest, especially a day like today, you know, David Carnes has given us a beautiful sunshiny day today. And it's a perfect time to get out and enjoy some of it, despite all that's going on, and especially despite our Southeast Tennessee pollen.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the dynamics that some people find themselves living in, because you've had colleges that have shut down, so kids have come back home from college. They're used to their own independence as 20-something-year-olds. Parents have been used to their independence. Little kids are home from school and they're underneath our feet all the time. So families are just stair-stacked on top of each other. Is it fair to say that we all are going to deal with this in our own way, and we need to collectively breathe and give each person their kind of meltdown moment when they have one?
You know, we do. And here's the thing. For so long, we've kind of taken for granted the space that we've had. Right now, we have to be housebound and we're in each other's space. So it's good to just take a break. If you have the ability to go outside and walk around and get some freedom before you come back together, that's probably a really good practice, because it's really like we've gone from 0 to 60 in a short period of time. We were used to so many freedoms that it's easy to take for granted, and now we've been asked to be constructive and be conscientious and responsible about our social interactions. So now's the perfect time to practice at home with your family. And you know, who can you really count on more than your family? They're not your enemy. They're your counterparts. They're your ones that are going to be your supporters or encouragers. So, you know, it is very constructive to be mindful of loving your family, telling them how much you appreciate them, and reconnecting. I've heard so many stories in the past couple weeks about people engaging their neighbors, because for so many months, we've gone in our house, shut our garage door down, and we don't engage our neighbors, but we're talking from a distance to our neighbors, and we're getting to know our families again, playing board games, and just really reconnecting in a way that this is uncharted territory, is it not?
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. This might be a bit of a stretch, but people are watching you this morning and they're thinking, oh yeah, he's the guy who talks about losing all the weight, right? That's what part of what you do at Infinite Health Centers. A lot of people, I'll kind of raise my hand on this one because you're home more. I can catch myself grazing in the kitchen a lot more than I normally would. When we get fearful or stressed out, is most people's tendency to grab something to eat?
Yeah, you know, remember when Pastor Bernie Miller was on one of the interviews talking about his weight loss experience, and he said that there's so many acronyms out there that help people with this. And remember, he used the word HALT. It stood for when you're hungry, when you're angry, when you're lonely, or when you're tired, you're more apt to binge on things, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's food, alcohol, what have you. So those kind of things are important to be mindful of. Catch yourself before it becomes a point you go overboard, and then switch gears real quick, because that can become a habit or a pattern more quickly than you really realize.
I know that you're not a psychologist. I mean, you are a chiropractor, but you do have this great mindset that you bring to your work. So this may or may not be in your wheelhouse, but here we go. We all are home more, and time is going by very, very slowly. If you wanted to start meditating or doing some introspective thought, is it better to start in little small snippets, and that way it's purposeful thought, not just empty thought? Like take 5 minutes, not 20?
Yeah, you know, everyone starts at a different place, right? And think about this, whether it's awkward to talk about or not, we are all made up of the same three sections. We're mind, body, and spirit. And that has been widely debated for years, and that's not what I'm talking about. But we are mind, body, and spirit, and it's important to keep each of those elements of our makeup in balance. So, I mean, I talk a lot about the physical, and we spend a lot of time with that. But there's a mental piece that's really important to talk through with people about feelings you're having in as constructive a way as possible. And you also want to have that spiritual connection. That's where you connect with your inner person. Or if you're a faith-based person, you're connecting with your Creator. And this is a perfect time because fear kind of brings out these conversations naturally. I've had several of them at the clinic this past month because people are really kind of, they're entertaining more of a thought beyond themselves because this has kind of forced them out of their comfort zone in a position where you really don't have a choice but to look at that and evaluate it.
Okay, there might be some people who in that introspective thought are realizing, look, I'm ready to take this step. I want my health back. I want my life back. So are you still open? Is Infinite Health Center still open?
You know, we are. The governor announced, the Department of Health and the governor have been keeping in great contact with healthcare providers, which is very helpful to us because we get that question many times during the day. And, you know, in healthcare, we're considered essential because right now, like I said, the best defense is a good offense. Our clinic especially is positioned in a very strong way to help you improve your immune system because that's what I'm referring to. Our natural internal defenses are the best asset you have. So we are open. We're doing face-to-face consultations, no double booking. So there's a maximum of only 4 people in the clinic at one time. We're doing virtual consultations, and we're also doing drive-through service for products.
Okay, because you do have those supplements and things to enrich your health, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, Tim, thanks for letting us peer into your home. This has been one of the fun things for us, selfishly, on 3+U is getting a glimpse at what our guests live like at home. So thanks for the time.
Hey, thank you for the invitation. Have a terrific weekend, Julie.
Okay, we'll do it again. We'll catch up with you again as we continue on this journey. Infinite Health Centers up in Cleveland, the address 340 Sunset Drive, but their phone number is 813-7575. They can still take your call online. It's losethefats.com, but as you heard from Tim this morning, it's about so much more than just the physical. We're back with more 3+U in just a minute.